Okay, let's start properly now. Good evening, everyone, once again. Um, I'm really happy to see you guys joining us tonight. I can see some couples of people here that have been joining our meeting almost every Sunday now. Uh, I think this is our fourth meeting. Yeah, this is our fourth meeting, and I can see some people that always show up to our meeting. I can see some of you here. Big shout out to every single one of you. um, I'm very sure that you know how valuable our meeting always be, how impactful it always be, and that is why you always show up. Because meetings like this, it doesn't happen often, and it's not something that we continue to be doing like this. But uh, at this time, that we are still consistent with it, because once it is getting to towards April and towards August, we'll be very, 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 very busy because we'll be handling a lot of applications as at that time. So to come live to share update and to teach ourselves and to guide ourselves will be very, very difficult because everybody will be planning for 2027 application. So it's not going to be very, very easy for us by then. But now that we are coming online almost every Sunday now, because this is our fourth meeting, so you'll be able to gain experience on how you can handle your application properly. So big shout out to every one of you that still show up tonight. So for those of you that have been attending our previous webinar, you will remember that in our earlier meeting, we talked about some important part of a strong visa application. We have discussed about things like importance of tax clearance certificate, which everybody knows as TCC, and how that can strengthen your application in 2026. That TCC is very, very important. So we had, in fact, I talked about that TCC for almost like 40 minutes on that day. And those of you that joined the meeting then, we know how impactful that meeting is that day. So we have also discussed about proof of fund and how you can properly present your financial document when it comes to proof of fund. We talked about that, I think, 2 minutes, two meeting or last meeting that we had. So we have discussed about proof of fund and how you can properly prepare it. Then last Sunday, which is last week Sunday, we we had someone that joined us. One of the lady that we my team help her to relocate to Russia. I invited her to our meeting that day, where um I asked her some series of questions, because I think last Sunday last Sunday be- it's I think that last Sunday makes it um 2 weeks that she relocated to Russia, and I brought her here where I asked her some series of questions and of how everything has been going on for her in Russia since she arrived. I asked her, some of you that joined this meeting will remember. So, and it's very, very insightful meeting that day. She explained everything, like how she's enjoying the what's it called, the language and everything. She explained everything, and everybody got value. In fact, everything that she said, it changed a lot of people's perspective about Russia, because people always think that Russia is all about war and everything, and all those things just like the propaganda. Just like we have people in US or Canada, or some white people, that there are some white people that still believe that Africans, they are not using phone in Africa. Do you guys understand? There are some white people that still believe that Africa is still far behind, that we are still living inside bush because of what media push out there about Africa. So same thing also it's happening in Russia. People don't share good part of the country. They always share bad side of every country. So, and if what you are diving on, there are some people, if someone asks you today, if someone, or let's say a citizen of US, and the person asks you that, uh, can he or she come to Nigeria, let's say the person wants to come to Lagos, or the person wants to come to Ogun State or Abuja, and the person is asking you that, is Abuja or Lagos safe to come? What are you going to tell the person, right? Definitely, you tell the person that Lagos is very safe for anybody to come. Do you understand? So, but what media put out there is that they are fighting, Boko Haram is killing everybody in Nigeria, whereby there is only one particular state. There is only in North, let's say not generally, but let's say Borno State. That is where all of this thing is very, very rampant. But when media put it out there, they put it as like there's a war going on in Nigeria. So that's exactly the same thing that is happening in Russia. Even the war that is even happening is around border of Ukraine and Russia. It has never come inside Russia, but the media put it out there to make people believe that war is going on in Russia. Just exactly what media put on, that Nigerians are going through difficult moment and all of that. But we all know that at least Nigeria is still safe, right? So when the lady came last week, Saturday, last week, I think last week Saturday or Sunday, she was able to clarify everybody doubts, and a lot of people, we have started even working on a lot of, some people that still have like little mindset about if they should relocate to Russia or not. That lady clarified everything that day, because if people are hearing it from me, they will just feel like, okay, maybe I'm just trying to sugarcoat it. As of today, I can say that almost more than 15 people have relocated to Russia through me and my team, and none of them have ever come and complained that this is what they are going through a lot. In fact, they are even enjoying there more than people that relocate to Poland and to all of these European countries. So that's just how to put it. So tonight I want us to discuss something many applicants overlook, right? But that thing, it plays a very, very significant role when it comes to approval. Do you understand? And I'm going to base tonight's conversation on home ties. I'm going to base it on home ties because many people believe that if they have what's it called? If they have enough money in their bank account, or if they have an admission letter from school, then their visa is guaranteed. But that is not always the case, right? Because most people always think that you just have to have money. Once you have money, definitely they will grant your visa, but it is not like that though. It's not like that. Some people are saying that they they are waiting to join. I don't know. Some people are saying they, but I'm not seeing any. I'm coming, guys. I'm not seeing any pending request here, but this person said she's waiting for us to accept her. So, as I was saying, many people believe that you just have to have enough money in your bank account before you can relocate. This thing is more than having money, right? We have a lot of people that have strong statements. We have people that have 100 million naira. In fact, I have someone. I think my network is somehow tonight, but please, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me loud and clear? Can you still hear me? Someone should confirm if you can hear me. Hello, can you still hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? I don't want it to be like I'm talking to myself. The network is- I am very, very, very sorry, guys. My network is frustrating tonight. I don't know why, but please let me know if you can still hear me loud and clear. Please, can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Uh, I think I think you guys can hear me now. So let's proceed. So as I was saying, uh, most people they always think that you just need to have money before you can travel. You can have all the money in this world, and your visa will still be refused, right? In fact, I know someone that submit a proof of fund that is over 100 million naira, and he paid for GIC. For those of you that know what GIC mean, he paid for GIC, he paid 1 year tuition fee, and he still got reviews. Do you understand? So when it comes to visa application, especially Canada, I don't know about other countries, but when it comes to Canada, your focus should not only be about money, right? It should not be about money alone. It should be about other documents too, because once they see that yes, you have a very very strong financial statement, they will look for another loophole, right? Another loophole just to refuse your application. That is how they always do this thing. So you just need to make sure that you filled all the loophole in your application. So when a visa officer review your application, they usually have one major question in their mind, and the question is this person genuinely coming to study or visit temporarily, or are they planning to stay permanently? There's something I want to say right now. Nigeria, do you understand? So so your responsibility as an applicant, is you must convince the officer that after your study, after all of this thing that you are going for, you are coming back. And the funniest thing is that they always ask at the point of entry, even though you pass, you got your visa and everything, they always ask at the point of entry that I think some of you must have seen the list of some of the things they normally ask at the point of entry, which is what is your plan after your study? What is your plan? They always ask, right? They always ask. They just want you to make that mistake and say maybe you want to work. Immediately you mention that thing, the streets, you are just that person is just coming back. Do you guys understand? So you just have to make sure that you structure your application to fit that. Yes, at the end of everything, you are coming back to Nigeria. So now there are three things you need to do to convince the officer that you are coming back, right? For those of you that have pen, you can start writing some of the things that I'm saying now, right? Because I know some agents that before they can even be sharing all of these things to you, you will have paid their consultation fee before they can be sharing all of these things. All of the things that we already discussed in our meeting, you will have paid them $50 or $100 for consultation fee, but you are getting it for free. And most of my meeting, I don't record them, right? You guys will have known most of the meeting that we have done in the past, I don't record them. So anybody that is serious will write so that it will help them when they are preparing for their application. So um, there are three things that um, you must know, right, when you are filling your application form. So um, the first thing is that the purpose for your traveling, is it genuine? You know, the purpose of your traveling, is it genuine? Then secondly, you must make them know that after your study you have like a financial support, like let's say even during your study or while you are still there, you have a very financial support for yourself, or your sponsor is more than capable to sponsor you. And the third thing is that you have a strong reason to return to your home country after your program of visit. So if you have all of these things in your mind, maybe let me repeat this thing so that some people that are writing can jot it down. First, your you must convince. What I'm saying is that you must these are the three things you must use to convince the officer, right? First is that your purpose for your traveling is genuine. You must structure your application to make sense, right? So that they will know that the purpose of your traveling is genuine. And another mistake that a lot of people normally make these days is that they make their study application, they make it look like see if they are not coming back to Nigeria. They make it as if they are not coming. Some application, once you look at it like this, we know that this person is not coming back, even though they genuinely want to travel to study, but their application look like if they are not coming back. And there are some visiting application that look like permanent residents, like they want to go there and seek for asylum. Do you guys understand? So if your if your what's it called if what you are going there for is study, your application must look like someone that is going there to study, and the person you will come back after your program. Do you understand? So you must make sure your application is genuine, your traveling purpose is genuine. Then secondly, you can financially support yourself, right? Or your sponsor is more than capable to sponsor you. Then the third thing is that you have a strong reason to return to your home country after your program. That is three things. If you can, if you can structure your application to answer all of these three things that I mentioned, definitely you will definitely get approval. So those are the reasons you need to do, and those are the things we call home ties. Now, home ties refers to uh, the things in your life that strongly connect you back to your home country. There are things in your life, there are things in our life like this that it connects us back no matter where we go, right? Those are the things we always remember. Even some people always say that okay, they want to travel, and if they just want to travel, all of them, like they want to carry out their family and travel. But there's no way you are, even if all of your family member, even if you travel with all of your family member, there are still something that will still tie you back to Nigeria. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. No matter how, it's going to be, maybe it is the blood, or because you grew up in Nigeria or your country, there is still something that will still tie you back to your country, even if all your family are not here. I have a family that since 2016, all of them they have traveled. No, they don't have their sibling, everything. All of them, they are not in Nigeria. But till today, they still always tell me that they miss Nigeria and they want to come. They want every time when we have a conversation, they always tell me they want to come. They want to come, right? Even though they don't have any of their family member here in Nigeria. That's one thing. So if you can structure your application to the visa officer to make them know that yes, you still have your roots in Nigeria, there's no way you are going to travel and you are not going to come back, even though majority of the most of the time everybody is traveling to seek for greener pasture either through study or PR. But in your application, you must make sure you let them know that yes, after your study, after your visit, you are still coming back to Nigeria. So these are the things to show the visa officer that you have a life, you have a responsibility, and you have a plan that will bring you back after your trip or after your study. So some of the example of strong home ties, it include number one, employment, business ownership. If you have a job back home, if you have a job here, is a very strong home ties. If you have a business, right, business ownership, regardless of the business you have, right, either a small business or large business, is a very very strong home ties. If you have a family responsibility, all of these things I mentioned, I'm still going to emphasize on it so that you understand how to structure every details explaining right now. Then if you have a property or assets, yes, it's a very strong home ties. Then if you have a career opportunity in your home country, it's also a very strong home ties. Then if you have educational plans that connect to your country, then those are the strong home ties. because they are very very easy to convince. You can use them to convince the visa officer that you will definitely return. Now let's look at all of these things that I mentioned. Now let's look at them in a very practical way, so that you can understand how to prepare. So the first one I mentioned is employment ties. Now, if you are planning to use employment as your home ties, there are some documents that must be in your application, which is number one. Let me repeat this thing again. If you are planning to use employment, like you have a job back home, right, that you want to return back to after your study, there are some important documents that you must include in your application. Number one, for those that are writing, these are the moment you need to write all of these things down. Number one, for employment ties, you need to include your employment letter. Some of us, we have been working in the same country for almost like 10 years or 5 years right now. So I'm very sure you have your employment letter when they employ you to that company. So you need to include your employment letter. Then you need to include your leave approval from your employer. So there's one application we submit last week. I don't know if I want to read the leave approval from employer that we use for that person. I want to read it for you guys so that you guys can understand how how it work and the content in it. I'm not going to explain everything there, but I just want to just give me like 1 minute to look for that document. Um, so what I'm trying to say is that uh, definitely, if you want to leave a work, like you write a letter to your to your boss, right? You write a letter to your boss that okay, you are traveling to Canada to study and all of that, and after your study, you are coming back to Nigeria. So then they are going to give you a document, right? They are going to give you a document to approve your study leave. Do you understand? So that's what study leave is all about. So if you want to submit something like that, the letter you must include the letter you write to your company, either to your HR. You will include it, right? The letter you submit to your HR, you include it. Then we include uh the letter that your company sent to you for that approval. You will include it in your application. Then you will tell your company also to write a letter, a letter that you can submit to IRCC. So your company will address that letter to IRCC. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. If you want to go for for study leave right now, you first of all seek permission from your work, isn't it? So that letter you write to your HR, you will submit that letter to IRCC. Then your your employer, they are going to respond to you, right? They will write to you back, either they approve it or not. That letter, you are going to include it also. The letter that your company write to you, you will include it in your application. Then you will now ask your employer, either your HR or your boss, that they should write a letter that they are giving you permission to go to Canada to study, and they will address that letter to IRCC. That means you are getting three letter. Three letter is coming from your working place. That's what I'm trying to say. So this application, I just want to read uh something for you guys so that you guys can have an understanding of how it work. I'm trying to look for the application. Okay, now the letter that this person is sending to IRCC state that the employer writes to what's it called to the guy is this. I want to read it out for you guys to hear. following your application dated on so date and the submission of your admission letter from the school, we are pleased we are pleased to inform you that your request for study leave has been approved. You are scheduled to undertake the name of the program from 8th of September 2026 to 2nd of June 2028. That means it is a 2 years program. Now, this approval is granted in accordance with our organization policy, which stipulate that employees with over 5 years service are eligible for paid study leave, provided the course is relevant to their professional development and add value to our organization. Now, these are the terms and conditions. The number one condition is that you will leave your leave will commence in August 2026 and conclude on August 2028, because the person is going for 2 years program. You are expected to resume duty on the 7th of August 2028. Now, you will receive second condition is that you will receive 50% of your monthly salary throughout this 2 year period. Do you understand? Let's assume this person's salary is, I don't want to mention the person's salary. Let's assume that the person's salary is 500,000 naira every month. So the company is now giving him 50% of his salary throughout the 2 year program, which means the person will be receiving 250,000 naira every single month from the company throughout the period of that 2 years. That's the second condition. Then the third condition is that you are required to provide remote support as needed and attending the organization monthly leadership meeting, which means as the person is still in Canada, when he travel, he needs to continue to be attending the company's monthly meeting virtually. Then the fourth condition is upon graduation, you must return to Nigeria and remain in the service of this organization for a minimum of 2 years. That means after the person's program, the person must return back to Nigeria and he must not leave the company for 2 years. I hope everything I'm saying is making sense to you guys. So then the fourth condition is upon your successful return, you'll be promoted to the position of, I don't want to mention the position, with all associated benefits, right? That's the fifth condition. Then the sixth condition is that you must provide two guarantor, either senior government official or business owner residing in so city in so state to secure your commitment to return. Now, everything I write, I I said right now, do you think if visa officer read this kind of letter, do you think they are still going to doubt your coming back? This is a very, very strong home ties. It shows that this person is will definitely return home. Do you guys understand what I'm saying now? So if you are using employment as your home ties, so this is like a perfect example, right? With everything that the company writes here, definitely it is convincing enough that this person has a strong home tie. This person must return, because which company that want to be giving you 50% and you will not resume back, we definitely resume. So this kind of letter, it convince enough for visa officer to know that yes, this person is we definitely return back to Nigeria after the study. So I just need to put that out for you guys to understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so that is from application of someone that we work on. We have already submitted the application last week, actually, but I just need to put that out. So, I've already mentioned you will submit your employment letter, leave approval from your employer, which is the one I read for you guys now. Then salary record. So we some of your salary, right? We call it pay slip. I don't think any company is paying their staff with cash right now when you are not working in POS center. So I'm very sure that your company always send you salary through transfer. So you have to print all those all those receipts, right? You print it out, you are going to include it. Then you are going to include proof that you will return to your job, you know. All of these things that I mentioned, it will clarify that. So when a visa officer see that you have a stable job waiting for you, it will increase your credibility. So for those that want to use employment ties, I've already give you example. Now let's move on. The second one is business ties. So if you run your own business, you can show things like, if you want to use like business as your own ties, you can submit a business registration document like your CAC. You can submit a, what's it called, tax record, because there's no how you are going to be running a business and you will not be paying tax. You know, we are all in we are Nigerians, so I'm very sure you guys know that Nigeria hardly pay tax. But if you are planning to use that kind of business for your visa application, you will definitely include your tax record. you know it is very important. Then you include your business bank statements. Then you include your contracts or invoices. If you are selling anything, maybe you are selling like spare parts, all the invoices that people that have bought something from you, to show that yes, there is a transaction. It's not like you just go and form one company from your head. So some of the invoices that you have issued to your customers, you are going to include it in your application. So for those that want to use business ties, this is a very perfect example. Now, then let's move on to family ties. So when we talk about home ties, number one thing that always comes to everybody mind is that should I have a family back home, I'm going to use them as my home ties. In fact, 90% of people, when you mention home ties to them, this is the only thing that comes to their mind, that as long as, especially married people, they should I have a husband, should I have a spouse in Nigeria, they are my your husband or your this thing, your family, they are not strong enough as your own ties. Do you understand? Because when it comes to this application of a thing, it's not something you are going to be putting emotion into it. Your explanation has to be logical. It has to be proven. You can't just say, okay, because you have there are a lot of people that have family back home, but they have not returned to Nigeria since almost like 9 or 10 years ago. Do you understand? So, and all of these people, this visa, they know all of these things, that even if you have a family back home, it's not guaranteed that you can still come back after your study. Do you understand? But it is also strong enough to also include them. But don't just rely your own ties on family alone. You need to attach other things like business, like employment, like the one I explained earlier. You have to attach everything to it. So if you are adding your family ties, family responsibility can also be very, very important, but you should not it should not be the only ties in your application. So if you want to add family ties, it can sorry guys, it can be for those of you that are married. You are going to add your wedding certificate. If you have kids, you add their certificate. You don't necessarily need to add your spouse birth certificate. The wedding certificate has already covered, right? It has already covered for either your husband or your wife. If you add your wedding certificate, as long as your, what's it called, uh your spouse name is on that wedding certificate, is already covered. So if you have kid, you can add their birth certificate. Then if you have like a parent that you support also, you can add their, what's it called, if they have passport, you can add it together. So when you have a very strong family responsibility, it can indicate that you have a very, very important reason to return back to Nigeria, or to your own country. Now, let's move on to another aspect of home ties, which is property or investment ties. Okay, we have two people that want to join. Okay, so let's move on to property or investment ties also. So if you own an asset like land, houses, or investment, this can also It can also strengthen your ties because access shows that you have a long-term root in your country. Now, let me state this clearly. If you are selling a property to fund your travel, because people do this a lot, they will sell their property, sell their belongings, sell their assets. You know, don't only show this where visa always hits a lot of people. Don't only show a certificate of ownership. Don't just show that okay, you said this land in 2025, right? You must also show how you are able to get money to acquire that land. Let's say you want to travel now and you just show you like a deed of assignment that this is my land, and you sell it, and that is how you're able to get the lump sum in your bank account. You must also show them how you are able to afford that land. Do you understand? Because most people always show that they have a land and they sell it, but you must show how you're able to, what gave you the money to buy that land. You must also show it. Do you understand? So one mistake many people make is, they believe that strong bank statement alone guarantees visa. So when it comes to visa application, it's not about showing big money. You know, all of these things. Home ties is one of the reasons. You must have seen a lot of people that they will tell you that okay, they refuse them because they don't have they have money, they have more than enough, but they still refuse them. It's because of these home ties. And if you can structure it properly, definitely we get approval. So visa are not just looking at how much money you have, they are also looking at like overall your overall life situation. Those are the things they are looking for. They just want to see a logical story that connects your education, career, study plan, and let's say future plan also. So if everything connect logically, definitely your application will become very very strong. So guys, when you are preparing your application, just try to make sure everything makes sense together. For example, I always tell people that your application decision start from the program you choose to study. For those that are going for study, your application you start from the decision, the course. So whatever the program you are choosing, make sure it aligns, because some people will just go and pick an application. They will just go and pick a program because everybody is going for that. Let's say health, for example, everybody is going to health, and you or the other, and you don't even have any experience back home when it comes to health. And when it's now time for you to start writing your SOP, you don't know what to write because you don't even have any experience. You don't have anything that connects you, that connects you with that program that you are going to study. That is how a lot of people shoot themselves in the leg. So everything started from the beginning, right? The program you choose, you must make sure that at least it's somehow aligned with what you have done in the past. Because when you are writing your SOP, that is where a lot of people mess up themselves. Because there's no way, there's no how your current what you are going for right now. There's no way, or there's no how it connects to where you are coming from. Do you understand? So make sure when you are choosing a program to study, make sure you choose a program that at least when you are writing your SOP, you'll be able to defend yourself and defend your career plan. Do you understand? So to round up everything I've been saying, the most common reason people get refused at these days is weak home ties, because the officer is not convinced the applicant will return. Then another reason is unclear study plan. You know, choosing a program that does not match the applicant background. Then poor financial explanation. Some people, when it is time, or let's say when it is like uh 2 months or 3 months to when they want to submit application, that's when they will now deposit money in the bank account. you know they call something like that as lump sum. So something like that always gets visa refused. Then another thing is inconsistent document. If dates or information in your document does not align, it can cause refusal also. Then weak statement of purpose. One thing I want you guys to understand tonight is that Canada does not conduct physical interview like US. There are some countries that you need to go to their embassy, but Canada does not have any embassy, right? So you don't have to go to Canadian embassy that you want to. They are not interview anybody physically. So your statement of purpose is like your opportunity to speak directly to the visa officer and convince them that uh, this is the reason why they need to approve your application. So just because they don't conduct physical application, it doesn't mean that if you write your SOP, it will get approved, because they use your SOP to judge you, right? Your SOP is just like a way to communicate with them that this is the reason why I want you to approve my study permit or to approve my visa. So if your SOP is not able to convince them enough, my brother, that visa is not going to be approved. So I always tell people that you need to start preparing your application at least 3 to 6 months before applying. So for those of you that you are planning to go for 2027, because application will soon open. What was it called? Some schools, they will open their portal very soon, very very soon, for 2027 application. So right now, we don't need to wait till then. Now let me tell you what happened in 2026. This we have like 10 minutes more, 10 minutes to go. But let me quickly share this information to you so that what happened in 2025 will not repeat itself in this year. In for 2026, right? They always give people like 1 year to prepare. So if you are going for 2026, that means you will get your, what's it called, um admission in 2025. If your program is going to start in September 2026, that means portal will open in October 2025. So by September 2025, you should have gotten your admission. You start preparing. Most people always think that that time is very very wide, but when you start, then you know that 1 year to prepare an application is not even enough. So what happened in 2025 was that they gave people what was it called, admission around October. And when they give them admission, I think they give them admission around October, September. So they have like 2 months to prepare their application, because now they always give what we call provisional attestation letter, which is PAR. Everybody knows it as PAR. So that PAR, it always expire at the 31st of that year. So let's assume that you got an admission in October, right? And they give you what's it called, provisional attestation letter. That attestation letter is going to expire on the 31st of that year, right? You got admission in October 2025. They now give you PAR, and that PAR will also expire in 31st December 2025. That means you have like 2 or 3 months to prepare your application. So people that they give that part to in 2027, most people that submit their application in that year, in that December, now they are refusing them to they are not giving them another part again, because they have already give them. Most people, and one thing about IRCC is that sometimes it will take like 2 or 3 times, most of the time 2 times, when they refuse you, and you address the situation, and they will give you another reason why. They will give you a note, then you address it. Then most people, let's say like 90% of people that got approval, they got it like second time they apply. But with that power now, they are not giving people another power. And without that power, you cannot submit your application. Do you understand? So now you must make sure that you already start your application from now. You started gathering your documents, so that even if you apply for any school in September and they give you admission, you will have gotten every document, so that by the time you submit your application once in December, you will got an approval by January. Do you guys understand? So make sure that you start preparing. Don't just wait that, okay, because I've not gotten admission right now, I'm not supposed to work on my application. No, it doesn't work like that. You must start preparing. because in 2025 everybody was just complaining that how did they want us to do it? We got admission in September and they expect us to submit our application by December. How is that possible? In their mind, they expect you to start gathering your applications before that time. Do you guys understand? So if they give you admission, they don't expect you that it was when you get admission you're supposed to start preparing your application. They expect you to like start preparing it even before you get admission. So if you don't want something like that to happen to you also, so we have a lot of people right now that they cannot submit their application again because they have already wasted the part they gave them in 2025. Now they got refusal and their school is not giving them another part to submit. And right now we have like Canada just said that it's only 155,000 people study permit they want to issue in 2025. So it's very very low. Imagine every school we have in Canada, just 155,000 people they want to issue visa for in 2026. You see how crazy it is. So they are trying to reduce, they are trying to cut off a lot of people right now. So if you don't have a strong application, a lot of things will affect you. Even if IRCC refuse you, your school can deny you PAR and you won't be able to submit application again. So I just need to put that out there right now so that you guys can understand how important it is to start preparing right now if you are looking forward to apply for any school in September, right? These are the things I want you to have in mind because that part of a thing is a very crazy issue though. Imagine you have already paid 1,000 tuition fee, tuition deposit, and you got you didn't get visa from IRCC and you are now asking your what's it called your school to send you another part so that you can submit the second application, but your school refused. And right now they have even cancelled a lot of people admission, right? So that part of the thing is very very crazy. For that thing to start in 2025, that means it's going to be very very crazy in 2026. So make sure you start now. We have like 5 minutes more. I think I've already covered everything I want to say tonight, right? So application that are rush, it all often contain mistakes. That is why I always tell people to start the application early because mistake only leads to refusal, right? So now I would like to ask everyone a question, but before we move to Q&A, do you have anyone here who is currently working on his or her application right now? Do you have anybody on this call that you are currently working on your application right now? Do you have anybody? Is there anyone on this call that is currently working on his application? Please unmute yourself. Let's let me hear from you. I want to ask you a question. Hello.
Hello.
So,
Good.
that's
Okay.
good evening.
Yeah, good. Let's take it one step at a time. Okay. I think they always say
Good
good
evening, sir.
evening.
I'm already on my application. I
Okay.
got admission into MPCC
Okay.
last year.
I want to
So we are giving PAR.
hello. Please wait. I want to ask you a question.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Hmm. You said you are giving para, right? Is it last year or this year?
Last year, but I didn't use it. So we are asked to ask for another PAR this year, which
Okay.
will be the last
Last one.
PAR.
I think
So
that's what
I'm
I just
taking my time.
that's what I just explained right now. But a question I
Yes,
want
of
to ask
course.
you I want to ask you is that if a visa look at your application today, what will convince them that
Okay.
you will return to your home country? Like what do you have in your SOP that will convince the visa officer that you will return home? Can you explain it to us a bit?
Uh, I have my business, which I say my sister, who is my manager, will be in charge when I'm gone. They have a family of three. Then I'm still preparing the application though, because I want to use my husband complaint to his place slip and anything that connects him to the company, that he has a better job here in Nigeria, he won't be joining me and the kids. So I'm using my family and then I'm using my business.
Okay, that is very strong. That is very strong. So just make sure also you include economic ties. Economic ties is different from what's it called? Family ties. So economic ties is
Okay.
something that your benefits to your country when you return. That's what we call economic ties. Like that thing that you are going to study, that program you are going to study, how is it going to
Okay.
affect or how is it going to benefit your country when you return back? That is what they call economic ties. So when you are preparing your application, also make sure
Okay.
you include that in the
Thank,
meeting.
thank you, sir. I'll look into that.
Okay.
I'll look
This
into
meeting is
that.
about to
Thank you, sir.
end right now, but I just hope that if you have any question, you can ask in the group, right? So that we will take it from there. So I just really want to appreciate every single one of you for joining us tonight. Hopefully by next weekend, we are still going to do this again. If there is time, we are still going to do this. But I just want to appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you gain one or two value from everything that I shared tonight. So that will be all for tonight because the time is already gone already. I would have loved to take like two or three questions, but we don't have the opportunity to do that. But you can share your question in the group, or you can come to my DM. So we see how it goes from there. So thank you very much, guys, and have a good night.